He opened his eyes slowly. But this time he wasn't on the floor. He was sitting on a chair he didn't remember sitting in a room he didn't recognize. It looked empty at first glance, but it wasn't, because the walls weren't normal walls. They were covered with eyes, hundreds of them, all different sizes, blinking softly, watching him from every direction. His breath caught in his throat. Every single blink echoed like a whisper inside his skull. He stood up slowly, his legs trembling, trying not to make a sound. But the moment he moved, every eye snapped toward him at once. Click. A sound like 100 camera lenses focusing in unison. He couldn't breathe. He whispered, his voice shaky, "Please, please stop watching me." The eyes blinked in perfect synchronization. The room began to hum, not with the sound of machines, but with something alive, something breathing. He pressed his back to the door behind him, his hand fumbling for the handle. He gripped it, locked. No matter how hard he pulled, the door wouldn't move. It felt like it was part of the wall, like it was being absorbed into it. He turned around again. The eyes were closer. Much, much closer. He took a step back, his stomach twisting into a knot, and his heel hit something. Something soft. He looked down. It was a chair, another chair, with another him. He froze. Sitting in that chair was a version of himself, the identical face, the identical clothes, the identical fear frozen on the copy's face. The copy looked at him with wide, trembling eyes. "Don't move," it whispered. He backed up slowly, horrified. What? What are you?" The copy swallowed hard, its throat clicking. "I'm what happens if you stay." Before he could respond, the walls shuddered. The eyes grew bloodshot, red veins swelling around their edges, their pupils darting wildly. The copy whispered urgently, "They see everything. They know when you're afraid. If you panic, they feed." His heartbeat spiked. He tried to calm it, but the pulse thundered in his chest like a war drum. The room reacted instantly. Every eye dilated, the pupils swallowing the whites entirely. The hum grew louder, more menacing. The air thickened like glue, pressing in on him. The copy screamed, a raw, terrified sound. "Don't run." But he ran. He stumbled forward, dodging the scattered chairs, the trembling floor, the staring walls. His hands shook as he reached for the opposite door, another door he hadn't seen before. The eyes followed him, tracking him, hunting him. A deep, guttural sound rumbled from within the walls. The eyes began to bulge. Blood, thick and dark, dripped from their corners. He grabbed the doorknob. It burned his hand like fire, but he didn't let go. He twisted as hard as he could. The eyes began to fall from the walls, one by one, hitting the ground and rolling toward him like grotesque marbles with pupils. He screamed, kicked them aside, and twisted the handle again. The door clicked. He shoved it open, throwing himself into the next room and slamming it shut behind him. The eyes pounded against the other side like thousands of angry fists. Then Silence. He stumbled backward, gasping for air, shaking uncontrollably, nearly collapsing onto the floor. And then he realized he wasn't alone. The room he had entered was pitch black, but in the center of the suffocating darkness, something moved. Slowly, breathing deeply, a shape, a figure. It looked human, but not quite. A whisper echoed from the void, slithering into his ears. You escaped the Watchers, but you were never meant to escape me. He froze, his body rigid with a new kind of terror. His voice cracked, barely audible. Who are you? The figure smiled. He couldn't see the mouth, but he could feel the smile, a wide, predatory curve in the darkness. I am the part of you that you have been running from since the beginning. Footsteps approached, each one heavier than the last, shaking the very foundation of his sanity. You're not losing your mind, the voice continued, smooth as venom. You're meeting it. The darkness swallowed his vision completely. His breath hitched in his throat. And then a hand, as cold as death itself, touched his face. Everything stopped, everything ended, and everything began.